was pretty good. I think we can do a little better. Jesus is real. Oh, I like it. I feel the intensity here today. Hey, we're in a series called Great Blue Yonder, or Wild Blue Yonder, as that video says. And it's really kind of fun because we're going into summer. Summer is a time where a lot of you may be going on vacations. We got youth camp coming up. How many of you guys are excited for youth camp? Hey, we got youth camp coming up. 23 of you guys are going, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really fun. So we got youth camp. We're going to Guatemala this summer. Some of you guys are going to Guatemala. But I believe that this summer is going to be the best summer that you've ever had. And so going into, how many days of school you got left? 5 days? I got to like 10. Somebody has 10? 9? 2? Hey, guys, we got some graduates in here. I'm going to go ahead and call them out real fast. Hey, Callie right here. Callie graduated. We saw her graduate yesterday. Congratulations. We got Freddie. Freddie is graduating tomorrow. Kelsey is graduating next week. And then we got Eli back there in the back holding it down. Eli's graduating on Friday. Did I miss any? Anthony graduated. Everybody give a round of applause. Ryan graduated from his program. Where's Ryan? There he is back there. And then Cameron, she's not here tonight, but she graduated from her program. Yeah. I mean, I'm so proud of you guys. And this sermon series is kind of for you too. So tonight, I just want to talk about something that's really close to my heart. And if I were to basically give you one message for the rest of your life, for next week, for next year, for 10 years down the road, I really believe that this message would speak to you and would be a message that I would want to give you. To the title, I'll just give you guys the title before we jump into the verses. The title is this. It's called The Road Less Traveled. And I believe that if we can really apply this to our lives, I got like 10 minutes, and I'm really going to try to go fast. You guys know I speak a long time, so, and when I get a microphone, we're going to be here for like an hour. But I really believe that this message is going to speak into your life. So right now, I want everybody to kind of close their eyes. And I want you to picture 10 years from now. I know that's really hard. That's really hard to picture 10 years from now. Maybe all the dreams that you want to accomplish. Maybe you want to go to college. Maybe you want to start your career. Maybe some of you want to be astronauts. Some of you want to be attorneys. Some of you want to be doctors. Some of you want to be just businessmen and businesswomen. And maybe you want to start a family. Maybe there's all these things that you want to do. You want to go travel the world. All these things that you want to do, just visualize those right now. And then I want you to visualize like 10 years from now, say you're graduating this year, and it's your reunion, your class reunion. Everybody's coming back together. All the people you know are in one room. And I want you to picture it. All right, open your eyes. What I want to say is that a lot of times, the dreams that we have in our hearts, each one of you has a dream. But the road that you take will determine if you accomplish those dreams or not. The road that you take, the path that you take, every decision that you make is determining if you're going to accomplish those dreams. And I'll tell you this, a lot of times, those people that you all visualize that coming back from your 10-year high school reunion are not going to accomplish the dreams that they have in their heart, are not going to step into what God really wants them to do. They're not going to really find their true purpose. But I'm telling you guys that I want you to find that. I want you to find that purpose, but it's going to require you to take a road less traveled. It's going to require you to take a road less traveled, because here's the thing, is that you will never accomplish the dreams that God has put inside of you without being intentional about every decision that you make. Every decision that you make is determining, is that how you say it? Determining where you're going to go and what dreams you're going to accomplish. And I just kind of like this because I hate choices. How many of you guys hate choices? Like don't give me like a million choices. Okay, so the worst thing that you can do to me is this. On a Sunday, my wife comes up to me, right? Brooklyn. She comes up to me and she says, "Where do you want to eat?" That is the worst question. The other day, we're painting our house, and she's asking me what kind what color I want to paint my house, our house. And she's like, "Okay, I want to paint it gray." And I'm like, "That's fine, babe. We'll do whatever you want." "Okay, which gray do you want?" I thought there was 7 colors, all right? I literally thought there was like the color wheel, like red, blue, green, purple. What? I don't even know. Apparently there's like a million different grays. And I'm just like, how many grays can there be? Like, oh, this one's more purple, this one's more green, this one's more blue. I hate choices. And I think God knows that about me. I think God knows that I hate choices. And I really like, let's look in Proverbs, and I want to show you guys kind of how God breaks it down in our life. Because here's the thing. In Proverbs 4:12, it says this: there's a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. I like that. Proverbs 4:26 says this: give careful thought to the paths of your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Here's number one, if you guys are taking notes. The choices that you make right now, they matter. The choices that you're making every day, they really matter. But I like that God understands me. And like, how many of you guys have ever wondered, like, what is God's will for your life? Like, what does he want? Who does he want me to date? What college does he want me to go to? What friends does he want me to hang out with? What shirt does he want me to wear? Your Momentvm apparel, that's what he wants you to wear, all right? That's what he wants you to know. I'm just playing. But here's the thing, is that God is a God that breaks it down. He's really simple. I love what Robert Frost says in his poem, The Road Less Traveled. He says, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. In Psalms 1, David says this, and I want you guys to kind of listen to this with me. It's really cool. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners. This is like the beginning of Psalms. If you guys have one book how many of you guys like poetry? I like poetry. God is a God, he's a creative God. Like, he's a God of art. He created everything, so of course he's creative. Who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And on this law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. So here's the thing. The verses 1-3 is breaking down the ways of the righteous. So there's one way that leads to life. This is what he's talking about. And now it's actually 3 verses, and the next 2 verses describe the ways of the wicked. Okay, let's listen to it. In all that he does, he prospers. But the wicked are not so, but are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. I like this part because there's 2 ways. This is Hebrew poetry. There's 2 ways that these paths are going. There's one that leads to life. It's the righteous. And then there's one that leads to death, and that's the wicked. And I like how the psalmist says that there's the first 3 verses are talking about the righteous, and it's longer than that of the wicked. Because here's the thing, is that what you do for others, and the path of life will always outlast the path of wickedness. The people that in your life that may be making the wrong decisions, the friends that you know, you're like, well, they're doing everything seemingly wrong, but they're getting blessed, or they look like they're having fun, or they look like, wow, like I remember I used to think that. But here's the thing, is that they will only have fun for a season, and then it will be like a mist. It'll be like here one day, gone the next. But the righteous, the way of the righteous, the way that leads to life will endure forever, right? It'll outlast that of the wicked. And I love the Hebrew poetry there. And then in verse 6 it says this: for the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. So there's 2 ways. There's 2 paths you can take, seniors that are graduating. There's 2 ways that you can take, middle schoolers going into high school. There's 2 paths you can take going into this summer. Which one will you choose? Which one will you choose? Jesus, I love it when he says in Matthew chapter 7, he's on the Sermon on the Mount, and he basically says the same exact thing as David says in the Psalms. He says this in Matthew 7:12. He says, so whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. And then listen to this, verse 13. Enter by the narrow gate. He says, enter by the narrow gate. For the gate is wide, and the way is easy that leads to destruction. For those who enter it are many. For the gate is narrow, and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. So he paints a picture of 2 paths. One path is wide, and a lot of people are on it. A lot of people are going this way, and it leads to destruction. And then there's the way that leads to life, but few actually find it. So what is Jesus saying here? What is he saying to us right now in this moment in 2018? He's saying that, look, if you're going the way everybody else is, you might take a double take and say, am I really living my life the way Jesus wants me to live? If everybody's going down the path that I'm going down, if I'm normal, then am I really going to the path of life? And that's the question I try to ask myself every day is where am I headed? The voices in your life will determine the path that you choose. The people that are pouring into you, the voices, your friends, your basically the people that you hang out with. And I'm not saying this, don't get me wrong. I want you to hang out with the people that are on the path to destruction. Like, I want you to reach them. That is not what I'm saying here. But I'm saying there's a difference between influencing others and being influenced. There's a difference between you pouring into other people and then allowing them to pour into you. Don't get so caught up in trying to evangelize or trying to basically be in the in crowd, or that you lose yourself and you lose the right path. And so I really like Jesus because he doesn't ask me, where do you want to go to lunch? He doesn't ask me that. He gives me two options. He gives me two choices, and he's giving you the same choices right now. Every day when you wake up, every day when you make a decision, he's giving you a choice to choose the path of life that few choose, or to choose the path that leads to death that a lot of people are on. And guys, my heart breaks for those people. I've been on that path. I've been on the path of destruction, and I can tell you that there's no life there. For those of you who are turning 18 and, man, you're like, should I go to the casino? Should I go buy a Black and Mild? Should I go do this? Should I go gamble? Should I go, yeah, you're able to do that. And I have done all those things. But I'm telling you right now that the way that leads to life is the best path. The way that leads to life is the best path. And I'm telling you, you're not missing anything over here. You're not missing anything by going down the path of destruction. It doesn't lead anywhere good. And number 3 is this: God's will is an eternal question. And it is simple. It's broken down into 2 paths. Which path are you going to choose? I love God because he's simple. He's simple. Because I'm a simple guy sometimes. And David breaks it down. He says there's 2 paths. Jesus says the same thing. There's 2 paths, one that leads to life, one that leads to death. Okay, it's easy. It's easy, right? So here's my question that I want to ask you today. Is that, what path are you on right now? And I know everybody would say, I want to choose the path of life. But here's the thing, is that the farther you get down in your life, you're gonna want to either like prove people wrong, or you're gonna want to say, I'll show them, and I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna prove myself. And in that attitude, pride will take you down the path of destruction, along with a lot of other things. But here's what I want to say to you, is that for the rest of your life, I want you to remember that there's 2 paths. And just like Robert Frost said, I want to read you guys this one more time. I love it. I love what he says. He says, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So what path are you going to take? Remember that the choices that you're making right now, they matter. Not just for right now, but for an eternity. Not just for right now, but from 10 years from now. Because that dream that God has put inside of you, those dreams that God wants you to accomplish, they can't come to pass unless you choose life. Again, number 2 says this: the voices in your life will determine the path you choose. What voices are you listening to? 3, God's will is an eternal question. And it's really simple. It's just 2 paths. Which path are you going to take? So let's pray.